screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, let's look at this again. Yeah, I don't think there's anything much to add. Maybe it's a little bit too long, but that's okay. Pyramid of this approach. Okay, so do you have any questions for this task number 2?
No.
No? Okay, so
Yes.
you said you wrote something as well, right? Let's see it.
Yeah. You please roll it down.
Oh, down? Okay. Oh, is it this one? What is this one? Let me check. Is this something that you wrote as well, George?
Yes.
But it's the same question as the previous one.
Okay. Delete this one.
Oh, you want me to delete? Okay. You
Yes,
sure?
please. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my computer's a bit jamming. Okay. Going down this one, right?
Yeah, this one. Right.
Expect reporting features and comparisons were relevant. Is this what you wrote?
Yeah. I just wrote it today.
So did you write this today?
Yeah.
Okay, because the moment I see it, I can definitely see there's an improvement.
Oh,
definitely an improvement.
I made some revises just 10 minutes ago.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Because
great.
You told me that some players need to revise, so I just quite.
That's great. It looks a lot cleaner. Do you agree? It looks very clean. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look. The graph illustrates a population of changes and prediction. Do you mean prediction? Okay, prediction.
Prediction, yeah.
Okay, don't forget to check the vocabulary. In 3 countries, the US, Nigeria, and Japan, throughout a 100-year period. See, this is what I'm trying to say, George. This is very clean, very straight to the point, and just, it sounds good. It looks good. Okay?
Okay.
So this is going to be introduction. So let me highlight this. Overall, the numbers of population for 3 countries increase, and the population in... Okay, so for this one, I feel like you can replace some of the words with something else. Like, for example, increase.
Oh, increase. Increase rows.
Rows, right? Yeah, so we can say, do you want me to fix it for you or write a comment?
Okay. Just fix it.
Okay. The numbers of population for 3 countries rose. And the population in the US was the highest among 3 countries from 1959 to 2000. Now, do you see the repetition, George? Can you tell me the 2 words that you repeated the most?
Population.
Population, right? What else?
Population. The population.
Countries. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what's another word for country?
Nations.
Exactly. So just change one to nation. Right? So, and also, we don't usually say number of population, George. We just say the population.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to erase this.
Okay.
Overall, the population for 3 nations rose. And here, there's another word for population again. So how would you change this?
Population.
What is population? What is the meaning of population? People. Or?
Citizens. Oh.
Number of people or citizens. Right? Number of people or citizens. In the US, was the highest among 3 countries from 1959 to 2000. Do you still remember? Can we use between for this one?
Yes.
So how would you change this?
Between, because I might be used between and below.
So, you already used between below, right?
Yeah, so okay. Maybe I'm not sure.
Let me check. I don't think you did.
Okay, yeah. Just between.
Yeah, it's okay. So between, right?
Between is better than from too.
Because it sounds more formal, George.
Okay.
I'm not saying that don't use from. You can use from, but it sounds better, or throughout.
Okay.
Right? But you already used throughout, so you can use from or between. Okay.
Okay.
So between 1959 and 2000. So let's see if the data is correct. All right, and populations. Nigeria. What do you mean by now, George?
From now to because to 2000 the figure of
What do you mean by now? Now you mean 2022?
Yeah, because 2022. Because I'm going to do I can't because it's forecast. So I need to say I cannot say from 2000 to 2050. I need to say from now to 2050. So so it's a prediction. So I need to write from now.
I mean, now is okay, but I feel like there's a better way to say this.
From now on.
We can say it like this. From. What do you think?
From recent times. Yeah.
For the present, from the present year or from the present time, right? And besides, you add more words, right? Now it's just one word. The present year or the present time is 3 words.
Can I say the recent time?
From recent times, it works. Okay. From recent times.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of this works.
Can
the figures of
recent time don't need the le. From the recent no
the. We don't say from the recent times, but if it's present, we add the.
Okay.
So let me write this down in case to remind you. No need to add.
Thank you.
For recent. Okay. Now this one, from the present year to 2050, we don't say figures of population, George. It's awkward. Population figure. You just switch it. Okay. So the population figure. So figures, because you said are. The population figures are expected to rise. Now you already use rise, right? So what else can you use?
Okay, besides increase,
what do you think?
Incline.
Incline, okay. Expect to say incline. That's great. Now I'm just gonna go up very quickly. I think I had written like a table for your reference, right? Here, this one. All of these are very useful. So in this case, I would use this one. Reach a peak.
Okay.
Right? Or hit a high. Right? So anything is fine as long as it's not rise or increase. So try to make your vocabulary more advanced. Okay, so let me just write it for you. Incline, hit a high, or reach a peak. Right. In the US and Nigeria. Oh, one more thing, George, I forgot. For the US, you need to put a dot. U.S.
Oh, okay. I don't know that.
Yes. So, well, you know now, right?
Yeah.
Because this is like a very minor mistake, but this is the correct form.
How about UK?
UK, you don't need to.
Okay.
UK, you don't need to. Okay. Nigeria, while the figure of population is predicted to decrease slightly. So again, population figure of population. How can you change this?
Just population. The population is
Population is predicted to decrease slightly. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's check again. So first, I'm trying to go step by step. For the first step, I'm trying to fix the synonyms. For the second part, I'm going to check if the data is correct or not. Okay.
Okay.
Population for 3 nations rose. Okay, so this one is your next point, right? In 1950, the US had the highest figure of population. Again, how would you change this?
I would just put had the highest. Okay, had the highest citizen in the country.
Highest citizen in the country.
Citizens in the country.
Citizen.
Yeah.
Highest citizen. So you're missing a word here, George. What do you think it is?
The highest number of citizens.
Yes. Highest number of citizens. So now I'm going to teach you another word that's very important that might come into handy. Because you see here, you already used the word number, right? So here we can say highest citizen rate.
Rate.
Okay. Highest citizen rate. Have you heard of the word rate before?
Okay.
Right. We can use this one. Okay. Highest citizen rate among 3 countries, and we're followed by Japan and Nigeria, which were approximately 180. Why are there 3 numbers here?
And because there are 3 countries. One is the highest one. The other 2 is Japan and Nigeria.
So US is 180, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in this case, I'm gonna put this here so it's much more clearer. So in this case, it doesn't read very. It's a little bit confusing, George. So listen. I'll read the paragraph for you, okay? And then listen, and then tell me if it's like incorrect or not. So in 1950, the US had the highest citizen rate among 3 countries and were followed by Japan and Nigeria, which were approximately 180, 150 millions of people respectively. Do you feel like we can make this sound better?
Okay, yeah. I need to move 180 to highest rate among. Okay, highest rate 180 million million of people.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to listen. That's what I was trying to say. So in 1950, the US had the highest citizen rate. You can say at 180 million people. Right? And you can delete among 3 countries because you already said it anyway. 3 countries. You don't need to say it again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you delete this. And at 180 million people, comma, followed by Japan and Nigeria, which were approximately 150 million, not millions. You can delete off people.
Okay.
Respectively. So can you read this one for me? Let's see if it sounds better.
Okay. Followed by Japan and Nigeria, which were approximately 150 million people, respectively.
Yes, we can add people.
Millions people, yeah.
Yes. So we don't say millions in this case, George. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, but can you move to the graph? The graph.
The graph, okay. Yes.
Yeah. They say millions of people. Oh, yeah, because
yes.
One
because
country,
there's no number.
I got it.
There's no number. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. So let's see. We're cutting down a lot of words, so we have to see again, like how many word count is it? At the highest rate in 2000, the figures of population in Japan surpassed by that of Nigeria at about 50 million of people. Let's see. In 2000, Nigeria
Oh.
Why is it Japan?
No. I want to.
It's supposed to be Nigeria, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how would you say this? In 2000?
In 2000, the figure. Okay, the population in Japan.
Before we begin, George, I think you're using the word figure of population too often.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to change this into. So we said citizen rate, right?
Yeah.
So we can use another word. We can also say population
rate.
Okay. In what? In what country?
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Yeah, right.
Surpass which country?
Japan.
Okay. Now in this case, surpassed by that of Japan doesn't make sense. It's wrong grammar. Okay. So I would delete this. So in 2000, the population rate in Nigeria surpassed Japan at about 50 million of people. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, it's 150.
It's not. right? Actually, it's not even 150, George. If you look at it carefully, it's not even at
Okay,
150.
140.
140. Okay. So this would be
About 140.
million people.
Yeah.
Okay. I also noticed something. I'm gonna write this down in case just to remind you. So we do not say, let's say, we do not say 100 millions of people. We don't say this. Okay. So we either say 100 million people. That's it. No of,
Okay.
no s. Okay.
Right.
By 2050, Nigeria population. Okay, now this one. What is wrong with this? Can you tell me?
It's Nigeria's population.
Okay, Nigeria's population, or can we say Nigerian population?
Oh yeah.
Right, Nigerian, or like you said, Nigeria's population will reach a peak. Oh, okay. So now you're using the words, right? Reach a peak.
Yeah.
So this at 600 millions of people. Again, 600 million people.
Okay, million
Is it
people.
true? Is it true? It will reach 600 in.
Yeah. Yeah. By 2050. Yeah.
By 2000, will reach a peak at 600 million people, and more than the U.S. and Japan. We're around 400, just above millions. Okay, this is a bit confusing. What are you trying to say here? We're around 400 and 100. What do you mean by this?
Okay. Because I like to describe U.S. and the U.S. and Japan's number.
You're making comparisons, right?
Yes.
Okay, then you have to use the word compare, George. Let's look at here. By 2050, Nigerian population will reach a peak at 600 million people. Now, do we need and? Do you think we need and or not? Nigerian population will reach a peak at 600 million people and more than the US? Do we need it?
Maybe put comma and which.
Right. So in this case, George, we don't usually need and or which. We can just say like this. We'll reach a peak at 600 million people, more than the US and Japan, right? And like you said, comma, no and, no which, okay?
Okay.
And I would say something like, I would add more vocabulary, like more than the US and Japan. What do you think?
Combine. Okay. Okay.
Right? Combine. We're around 400 and 100 just above million people respectively. Now, this one is confusing. Even if I don't look at the graph, it's still confusing to read. But I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to compare, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna give you like a tip on how to do this. In 2050, Nigerian population is 600, right?
Yeah.
And 2050, Japan is 100 million people, right?
Yeah.
So can we say it like this? The Nigerian, this is mine, okay? I'm just gonna distinguish so like you don't get confused. The Nigerian population is 600 million. The Japanese population is how much? 100, right?
100.
What about Americans?
The US is 400.
400. Is it 400? It's more than 400, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can say, yeah, let's like over 400. Okay. American population over 400 million. Now we can say something like this, George. The Nigerian population is 6 times more than the Japanese population. Can we say it like that?
Oh yeah.
Can we?
Yeah.
Great. So let's delete this. Okay. So how would you say that?
Okay. Then
how would you begin the sentence?
Okay. The Nigeria population will be 6 times more than Japan.
More than Japan? In what year? In what year, George?
By 2050.
Okay. And then what about the Americans? How would you compare with the Americans?
But I already say that by 2050
okay, yeah. I see it. By 2050.
I need to put by 250 to the third paragraph.
What do you mean?
I need to
No.
put it.
I think this is fine, George. Like you said, because you already used by 2050, I think we can erase this.
Okay.
Okay, we can erase this. Okay, what about the Americans?
Okay, and the Americans. Okay. The gap between Nigeria population and American population would be 200 more or less.
200
Would be 200
million
million
more.
Yeah.
Okay, 200 million people, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at the sentence again. By 2050, Nigerian population will reach a peak at 600 million people, more than the US and Japan combined. The Nigerian population will be 6 times more than Japan, and the gap between Nigerian and American population will be 200 million people, more or less. Yes, this is better. But the word Nigerian and population is becoming repetitive. Do you see?
Yeah.
So how can we change that? What do you think?
Nigerian citizens.
Citizens.
Yeah.
This one, citizens. Okay. What else?
Nigerians. No.
Do you think it's fine? Do you think it looks okay? Or do you think we should change another word for population, or it's fine?
Because I don't have our words.
It's okay. Because in this case, George, we can just use people, can we?
Yeah, Nigerian people.
Nigerian American people, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I also want to teach you another tip. Do you see the word Nigerian?
Yeah.
Too many. Too many. Okay, here. We have 5 Nigerias in this paragraph alone. What do you think? Do you think there's another way to change the word Nigeria?
Oh, I can just say Nigerians.
You can say Nigerians?
Yeah, Nigerians.
Okay, let me give you a hint. Can you tell me, George, where is Nigeria?
I think it's South Africa.
It's in Africa. It's in Africa, right? So look at this carefully. Can I say it like this? What do you think?
Okay.
Can we say it like this?
Okay.
What do you think? We can. Because we only have 3 countries here: US, Nigeria, and Japan. And only Nigeria is in Africa, right?
Yeah.
So you can say the population of the African nation will reach a peak at 600 million people. Do you know what I mean?
I see.
The same thing can be done to Japan, George. Japan, where is Japan?
Asia.
What Asia? Is it West Asia, South Asia?
It's Northeast.
Right? So I'll just write this down. So it's East Asia, George.
Okay.
Right? East Asia is where Japan, Korea, China, and Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
But because we don't have Taiwan or China or Korea here, so the person who's going to grade the test already know that Japan is in East Asia. So you can also change this Japan to more than the East Asian country or nation.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean, George?
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that sounds better?
Okay.
Great. Okay, so let's look at the whole thing again. Let me just unhighlight this. What do you think? Does it look better? Do you think there's anything we can add?
Yes. No. I think it's okay.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So you're also missing something. Conclusion. What must we add? In front.
Overall. No. All in all.
All in all.
Yeah.
All in all, right? 6 times more than East Asian countries. Let's see. This is supposed to be 150 words, right? Let's check. I think this is more than 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, 180, right? So what do you think, George? Does it look better?
Yes.
Right? So I don't think you have any problem with the introduction sentence anymore. I feel like this is perfect. Nothing to change here. right? Because of the word illustrates, right? Or throughout, or like period,
Yeah.
right? So these are all really, really important words, very useful words you might find. So any questions for this part? Anything you're not clear or?
No.
Great. Is it useful?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
great.
Thank you.
So what else? This one, right?
Yeah, this one.
Okay, I think we still have some extra time, so let's just skim through this. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. Indentation. Do you still remember?
Yeah.
Right? Space. Okay. So you have to spend some time near the end of the test, George, to make sure the vocabulary is right and if there's like
Okay.
indentation or not. I'm just gonna write this down in case you need a reminder. Margin or space in front of paragraph. Oh, by the way, can you still see the comments? If not, you probably have to record the whole thing.
Yes.
You
I
can
can
see the
see right
comments,
now
right?
because I just checked. I can see right now when you give me the authority of
Okay,
edit.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the instructions, right? Language teachers should concentrate on giving feedback to students when they do good work, rather than, for example, what give reasons for answer include. Okay, due to the globalization. Okay, so here we don't use the. Due to
Okay.
globalization. Okay, or if you want to use the, George, you just say due to the globalization of the world.
Okay.
Okay. More and more people study other languages. Finding a good language teacher with great. So this is approaches. Okay. Is it because you wrote too fast or you don't know the spelling?
I wrote too fast.
Too fast, right? It's okay. It's okay.
Because
Approaches.
I count myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very important.
I write this task 1, task 2 in hour.
In 1 hour. Okay. Should students be encouraged when they have good performance or be criticized? So we don't need this when they make mistakes. Again, can we use I think?
Okay. No.
What should we change this to?
But okay.
Actually, George, we don't even need to write anything in front. You can just say, let me just erase this as well. You can just say both stances. You can begin there.
Okay, both
You know what I mean?
stances.
But here's the thing. You are using the both here, so it's repetitive. So how would you change one?
Okay, both stances are equally important because those approaches. Because two approaches.
Exactly, right? Because both is two.
Okay.
Because the two approaches. Know that could influence students profoundly. Okay, could. Okay, now this one, I'm not saying this is wrong, George, but there's a better way to say this. What do you think?
Could impact students profoundly.
Yes. So if I were you, I would write something like this, okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why this is here. I would write like, could have a profound influence on students. What do you think? Does it sound better?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is just a suggestion. I mean, this is also correct. But if I were you, I would write something like this. Why? Because number one, it sounds better. Number two, there are more words.
Okay.
Okay? Great. So I think time's up, George. Let's continue this the next time, okay?
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, try to write, try to practice, and then when we have classes, I'll go through the writing one by one, like just like this. Okay.
Okay. See you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you.